You should still.
And if you send us your number, we'll call you and remind you.
I will remind people to post it on our Weather Watch page, because we will show the things going for us tonight with clear skies and a new moon, meaning the moon will not inhibit the viewing. It's going to be completely dark. So if you're able to get away from the city lights, 10 p.m. to midnight is actually going to be the best chance to see it. And here across the West Coast, we have a slightly better chance as compared to the East Coast. Clear skies all across Arizona, and the viewing time a little bit earlier. Typically, we're like, get up at 4 a.m., check it out. Tonight, it's 10 p.m. to get some of the hottest temps of the year moving in next week. We could see our first one June 11th, and it's going to mark the calendar pretty well as we go toward late next week with some of that very high heat. A cloudless sky today. We are basking in the sunshine. Things are heating up, and so far, the high today out at Sky Harbor is 103 degrees. Unfortunately, still no rain in the forecast, and that's going to be the case well into next week. June is typically our hottest and driest month of the year. We are now up to 65 days without any measurable rain. Last rainfall was back in late March on the 29th. Our drought continues to worsen. We're at 3% in the exceptional category, which is the worst on the scale, but we've seen the severe and extreme drought numbers in the orange and red shades really increase over the last 7 days. In fact, you can see here we went from 21% of the state in an extreme drought 1 week ago up to 27% now, and 67% of the state in a severe drought 1 week ago up to 78%. And during the month of June, we only see typically 2/100ths of an inch of rain. So June is a very dry month, but there are signs for a good monsoon season once those storms get going in July, August, and September. And we could see some drought removal through August 31st across parts of South and Central Arizona. So there is some hope heading into the summer. Normal fire risk today, that's going to begin to increase as we head into the upcoming weekend with elevated risk, higher wind speeds. You'll start to notice 30-mile-per-hour gusts tomorrow in the mountains. That'll happen by the mid to late afternoon hours. And the breeze is going to pick up in the valley as well. 22-mile-per-hour gusts from the southwest tomorrow expected. We're at 101 right now. A hot afternoon in progress tomorrow. We hit 103 again, so very similar temperatures except a little bit breezier and those higher wind speeds.
A viral post claims that 5 states, including Arizona, have laws on the books that could make it tougher for a pregnant woman to file for divorce. Our Verified team looks into it. And before we go,
Lindsay, things are heating up. Not a cloud in the sky, high pressure, fully in control, and on our way to maybe 110.
110. It is on target for the average first 110-degree day, which happens around June 11th. So it will be late next week, heading into next weekend as well. We could have our first excessive heat of the year. A cloudless skies without any measurable rain out at Sky Harbor. No signs of it coming anytime soon. And in just the last 7 days alone, we have seen a pretty large jump in our drought across the state, especially in the severe and extreme categories, which is the orange and the red. And you can see we jumped from 21% a week ago up to 27% of Arizona in the extreme drought in the last 7 days, and a 67% last week of our state, now up to 78% in the severe drought in orange. And unfortunately, still no rain. The fire danger as we go from May into June now expected to spread further to the north, including much of the high country for that above average fire risk. And we'll see that increase heading into this weekend as wind speeds also begin to pick up. But there are signs that our monsoon season will deliver some much needed rain, and we could see the removal by late August, early September of some of the drought conditions across parts of South and Central Arizona. So good news there. We hit 103 today. We're currently at 101. Temperatures very similar. Imagine watching the monsoon storms coming in from that pool. Not that that's the safest thing to do, but maybe
you want to hold up
not trying to give
a metal rod while you're doing that? Well, get in the pool and hold up the metal rod.
Hold the umbrella. Just kidding. Don't
Take a
do
video
that.
for us. And
Yeah,
send it
please
to
don't
us.
do that.
Yeah. I'm not advocating that at all. But maybe you can see the storm clouds off in the distance hours before they make it into the valley. Well, we have the heat building in as well, and we have our first 110s of the year that will be possible by the middle and late part of next week. It is on average by June 11th when we see our first 110-degree day. So this would be pretty normal for this time of year. But nonetheless, temps heating up, and the Salt River has never looked so inviting before. It is beautiful. A cloudless sky out there. Maybe you're getting out of work early, being that tomorrow is Friday. A great pool day. Temperatures crossing the century mark by 1 p.m. and we will have several hours country. Temps will be above average, will stay above average into the upcoming weekend. And the dry weather also continues. We're up to 65 days without any measurable rain. Unfortunately, the drought also worsening across the state. We've seen more of an extreme drought and as well as a severe drought. The numbers going up just in the last 7 days from 67% a week ago. Brace yourself for the heat, because this is where we're headed for the next 7 days. Triple digits across the board, getting close to that.
I mean,
use Ostmark.
When would you ever use any of those
Come
words?
on, Lynn.
I don't.
Is there any Ostmark in the forecast?
I don't think there's Ostmark today in the forecast. I mean,
How about Henway?
What was the other one?
Henway or Moorhen.
Trey Valley. I feel like we could use that one here.
I think
Highs in the Trey Valley.
highs in the Trey Valley are going up. That's how we're going to use that in a sentence today. Our first 110s as we go toward the middle of next week, issued by next Thursday and Friday especially. That's when our highs are going to get up to about 110, 111. Overnight lows will be in the 80s. So enjoy the 103 that we had today, and we'll have 103 again as we head into this weekend. Even those morning lows are starting to get a little bit warmer earlier as we march through the month of June. 71 the air temperature in Flagstaff right now. We're at the century mark in Lake Havasu. Maybe you're planning on having dinner outside, walking the dog, taking a walk in the park this evening. Temperatures will be in the 90s through 10 o'clock tonight, and we'll also have a few fair weather clouds. Unfortunately, no moisture falling from those clouds. Dry evening, dry 7-day forecast. Skies will be clear for that. By lunchtime tomorrow, we're at 95. We warm up to the century mark by 3 p.m. We'll stay in the triple digits through 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Temps very similar to today, but windier all across the state. We will have an enhanced fire risk, especially up toward Mojave County, Bullhead City, Lake Havasu, and also across far eastern Arizona during the day tomorrow. If you're planning any time at the lakes,
Sort of like a protector of
Yes.
the family too, right?
I would say so. A friend and a protector, and that's. Well, we topped out at 103 degrees today. We're on the fast track to 110 over the next 7 days. By late next week, we're talking our first 110s of the year. So start thinking about the pool, the lake, any water activity. As of the 6 o'clock hour, we're still at 100 degrees after topping out at 103 today. Still at the century mark in Bullhead City, 88 in Page, and 96 degrees in Safford. A look ahead for tonight, we've had a few fair weather clouds out there late this afternoon. Those will last another couple of hours. By 11 p.m. tonight, skies are clear. We're still warm at 11 p.m. and 89 degrees. Temperature heating up warmer and faster as we march through the month. 95 tomorrow by lunchtime, and if you're going to be poolside, the hottest part of the day between 3 and 5, and we'll see those triple-digit temperatures tomorrow between 3 and 6 p.m. along with 20-mile-per-hour gusts. Tomorrow across the state, above average temps, and we're looking at plenty of sunshine. 90 will be a bit windier with red flag warnings out across western Arizona, gusts up to 35, and we'll also see about 30-mile-per-hour gusts with an elevated fire risk for eastern portions of the state. Here's our Flagstaff 7-day dry. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't want that, especially in the heat. It's going to decompose kind of quick, right?
I left you this sparrow.
Hopefully they find it quickly. Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder how the birds deal with some of the heat that we have.
I know, right?
And we're only getting hotter, and there's not much area to rest and get into the shade here. And we're also talking our 1/10 of the year coming later in the 7-day forecast, later next week. So we'll have our first excessive heat warnings of the year. Not yet, though. We hit 103 today, 103 expected this weekend. A nice looking sunset. This was just outside of the Phoenix metro area in Morristown. As we speak, morning lows are going to be in the 70s out the door. So if you're planning on doing an early morning hike or walk the dog, make sure it is early in the day by 9